What if there was a market that appeared once every 7 years? A place where you could trade your destiny, your name, even your memories for power beyond imagination. This is the story of Adétúnjí, a young trader who followed a dream no one else could, into the heart of Ọjà Ìbùkún, the market of shadows, but in a market where spirit trade in secret and every choice has a cost. The greatest price is the one you didn't know you were paying. In the ancient town of Ìrẹ̀kú, nestled between thick forest and sacred hills, tales were told of Ọjà Ìbùkún, a mystical market that appeared only once every 7 years, during the night of Òṣùpàwẹ̀, the fasting moon. It was said to be a market of spirits and destinies, where traders were not just human and goods were not just things. Only those summoned by Òrìṣà or driving by deep yearning could find it. Adétúnjí, a young and ambitious apprentice trader, had grown weary of his life selling kola nuts and clothes beside his father's humble store. He longed for wealth, respect, and power, things he believed were stolen from him by fate. He often sat by the shrine of Èṣù, the divine trickster and guardian of crossroads, asking, "When will the path open for me?" One night, after pouring palm oil at Èṣù's shrine and whispering his desires, a red-eyed bird perched beside him and spoke in a voice not of this world. "Ọjà Ìbùkún opens tonight. Follow the drums you cannot hear." With nothing but calabash tied to his belt and his father's staff in hand, Adétúnjí entered the sacred grove of Igbo Ọ̀rànmíyàn, where the spirits were said to walk after dark. The air turned thick, the night grew strangely quiet, save for a low rhythm of drums, distant but clear. He followed them until the forest split open into light. There stood the market of shadows, illuminated not by torches, not by floating orbs of ancestral fire. The stores seemed woven from mist and starlight. The traders, some with animal heads, some with no faces at all, spoke in proverbs, dreams, and riddles. One store sold names stolen from forgotten children. Another offered destinies denied at birth. He passed a cage filled with unspoken prayers, each glowing faintly like fireflies. Adétúnjí wondered, awe and fear swirling inside him. Then he saw it, a store run by a woman whose head was veiled in cowrie shells, her skin glowing like moon-washed bronze. On the table before her lay a beaded crown Adéorí, radiating with power and dignity. In its reflection, Adétúnjí saw himself as Baálẹ̀, a chief with lands, titles, and people praising his name. He reached for it. The woman said softly, "The price is not money, the price is memory." "Whose memory?" he asked. "Yours," she explained. If he took the crown, he would forget who he was, who he loved, and why he came. He could wake up in a new life of power, but with a hole inside him he could never name. Adétúnjí hesitated, but his hunger for greatness roared louder than his fear. "I accept." The crown vanished from the table. The woman nodded. The next morning, Adétúnjí awoke in a place courtyard in Ilé-Ifẹ̀, surrounded by servants and titles, with a royal head necklace on his chest. He had no memory of Ìrẹ̀kú, of his father, of the shrine, of his real name. He was Ọba Adétúnjí, the benevolent ruler of a land he did not recognize. Years passed. He ruled well, but felt empty. He often sat alone beneath the Iroko tree, feeling something called to him, something he could not name. One night, during another Òṣùpàwẹ̀, a stranger arrived, an old man with tired eyes and a cracked walking stick. He bowed and said, "Do you remember the boy who gave palm oil to Èṣù under the mango tree?" The king's hands trembled. A memory, flash red feathers, talking drums, a glowing crown. The man smiled. Welcome, the market remembers. And then, just like that, the world shifted. Adétúnjí found himself once again in the forest. The crown gone, the market gone, just him alone. He walked back to Ireku. His father's hut was gone. The town changed, but the shrine to Eshu remained. He knelt and whispered, I wanted everything, I lost myself, and from the shadows the God answered. To find your path, you must first know where you came from. Now you are ready. Since that day, some say a humble man tends the shrine of Eshu, offering wisdom to travelers. Others say he's a ghost caught between fate. But once every 7 years, when the mango moon rises, he vanishes. Some say he returned to Ọjà Ìbùkún, the market of shadows, not to buy or sell, but to remember. The wind whispered through the mango trees of Ireku as Adétúnjí, now older, his beard streaked with silver, sat once again in the foot of Eshu's shrine. His eyes, once burning with hunger for greatness, now held the calm of understanding. He wore no crown, only a simple wrapper and a string of worn cowries around his neck. Yet those who met him swore he carried the weight of kings and the silence of the gods. Travelers came to him, lost ones, desperate ones, proud ones. To each he offered only stories, riddles, and questions. Who are you without your desires? Do you chase glory, or does glory chase you? Is forgetting your past the price of becoming who you dream to be? He never spoke of the market by name, but sometimes when the moon turned thin and pale, when the leaves rustled, though no wind blew, he would look toward the forest with eyes that shimmered like ancestral fire. And when Òṣùpá returned, some said they saw him into the darkness once more, carrying nothing but a calabash and a staff, following the sound of drums only he could hear. Long after he vanished, the people of Ireku built a small shrine beside the ancient mango tree, where they left offering of kola nut, palm oil, and whispered prayer. Above it, carved into the stone, were the words, true power is not in what you gain, but in what you remember. Moral lesson. The tale of Adétúnjí reminds us that identity is more valuable than status, and the hunger for power without self-knowledge can lead to emptiness. In a world where many seek greatness at any cost, this story teaches that destiny is not a prize to be bought, but a path to be remembered and walked with awareness. If you enjoy this amazing story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful African folktales and original legends.